Well, boys and girls, girls and boys. Why is there no data? Hey, there we go. Now we're cooking with gasoline. Let's go. We have a dream. I have a dream that all YouTube chaos will happen only on my channel. That is what I believe in. That is what I see. All YouTube chaos is just for me. Anyways, boys and girls, we're gonna be getting right into it today. I have some really fun stuff for us, so I am gonna just let's start off with the fun one. I saw this thing that I couldn't believe it was real. I honestly could not believe that this was real. There's a streamer tortures himself for donations, which is insane, bro. Which is what is going on with the streamer world right now? People criticize me, right? They're like, "Oh my gosh, you make commentary react content that's slop." But it's fine. Criticize me all you want. Leave as many hate comments as possible, I guess. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna actually torture myself for views, bro. I'm not gonna be out here just ruining my own existence, right? But it seems like people be out there. But this is from Just Kush. And I am really interested to see what's going on with this whole situation.
You're not gonna kill me. I just breathed it in a little. It's fine. Just a little cold, dude. That's it.
That right there is an ancient Chinese torture method. It has a very special name, but if I try to say that name, I'm gonna get canceled for being called a racist. But what I like to call it...
Wait, what is the name? What is the name of Chinese water torture? What is the name? I'm honestly I'm honestly curious. What? Chinese... Why am I in water torture tab? Enter. Why am I on cap locks? Yes, Chinese water torture. Alright, let's go. Name. What is the name, though? I mean, it's a form of waterboarding. I get that, dude. I get it's waterboarding, but what's the Chinese name for it? What is the name? Chinese water torture. It's a form of what's the first known by origins? Sorry. I don't know the actual name, bro. If anybody knows the actual name, put it in chat. I don't even care if you use Chinese symbols. But I don't know the actual name of it. It's not here. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. It does not say the name anywhere, dude. I guess yeah, dude. This is my Chitao. No. It's just waterboarding. It's just waterboarding, dude. Dunking, Chinese water torture. I mean, this is literally unfair. Oh, don't even worry about the email today, buddy. Don't even worry about it. It's fine. I actually thought it was funny. I got DOSman in the chat, but he didn't tell me what the name of Chinese waterboarding is, so I'm a little upset. I guess we can't find out what the actual name is, so I'm a little upset with the guy that he didn't say the name. I know that it would have come off as I'm saying Asian words and I'm not Asian, but still, at the end of the day, dude, I'm a little upset that I'm not gonna find out what it is.
Is the golden shower, but not with pee, but with water. Now, begging has gone digital. My time, they used to, just fake an arm. Did I just fucking rip my shirt? I swear to God, back in the day when I was coming back from school, there was always a guy with, hiding his hand. He was like, money, I can't work because of this goddamn thing. Support me by donating. I'll take anything. And whoever gave him some money, he would just go, no, I'm not gonna...
Bro just fucking blasted his arm sleeve just became the vagina of an OnlyFans. Weeb washing. Chinese water torture is now called weeb washing. That is what it's canonically called, is weeb washing. But dude just fucking blasted the whole of his t-shirt just like an OnlyFans girl's pussy. Not gonna lie.
Fuck, bro, what the fuck is that? Excuse my clumsiness. My point is they're getting way too creative out there. We got people even sitting with their medical bill and they're, crying in front of the camera asking for money. We got people in men in
Bro hurt his little fucking elbow, dog. I mean, bro's out there. He's got his fucking hookah set up. Bro's mad living the dream, bro. Hookah's fire, by the way. I haven't had hookah in so long, but I used to fuck with some hookah. I really liked hookah. And like I have a hookah somewhere. I mean, I'm fucking like geared up, dude. I'm geared up, but I just never turn it on.
full hijab, just the eyes showing, sitting and begging for money. We even got people on TikTok, guys, we need to win this challenge because our reputation is on the line. If you do not donate to support me win this TikTok battle that we're having right now, people will die, and it is up to you to save all of us. So swipe that credit card, face scan that Apple Pay, but only if you go to the extent to torture themselves. And this one over here use the golden shower but not a pee but water method as well.
Bro, well, let's be honest, bro. Wait, is it even torture though if it's pee? If it's pee, is it even torture? Or is that just fucking R. Kelly's wet dream?
There's shorter name for that.
That one went up my nose a little bit. This is thought I was gonna stream Rocket League. It's kind of like it.
Just a normal day for this Twitch streamer. He was gonna stream Rocket League, but he was feeling a little bit tortury that day, so he decided to.
Bro, who the fuck wants to watch Rocket League in 2025 though? I mean, come on, let's be honest. You're thinking, oh dude, I'm gonna click on this guy. He's playing Rocket League like everybody else, or I'm gonna click on the guy who's literally having piss drip onto his fucking face. I'm clicking piss, dude. But I mean, is it the best choice? Probably not. Probably not the fucking best choice. It definitely makes him look bad. And it's not safe, I guess. So those are both things that are not in his fucking corner.
Torture himself. The fucking I forgot English.
You're not gonna kill me. I just breathed it in a little. It's fine. Just a little cold, dude. That's it.
Now, as you can see, the drops remaining. The more you donate, the more it's going to add to the drops. Gifted subs is going to be a mega drop. You know what will be even more fun to ask for money by torturing yourself? Like, put a towel on your head and just fucking chug a big pile of water on yourself. I think that'll be much more interesting than
that's just waterboarding, and that's much more effective than this. I mean, in terms of atrocities done to people with water, I think it goes like Chinese water torture, and then it steps up. We're fucking evolving like a Pokemon, and we're Michael Vicky mining all the way up to fucking Chinese water, up to waterboarding. It is just a whole nother worse step.
Having cold water drops on your forehead. Now, you might say, Kush, this is not torture. Well, it is. It's an ancient one. Like I said, it has a very unique Chinese name for it. It's a century-old interrogation.
It is called weeb washing. This is called weeb washing. It is ancient way of washing weebs.
Method. The Chinese water torture was actually invented far from Asia and eventually evolved into crueler forms of punishment. This is a photo that was taken in 1200 AD. Now we have all types of different tortures. We got the face masks back in the day where
It's not waterboarding if you use gasoline. What the fuck, Chad? Oh my god. Oh my god, that's fucking diabolical, bro.
Just to, lock yourself, like the Three Musketeers movie. Sorry, the Iron Mask movie. We have whips.
By the way, what a great fucking pull. If you guys haven't seen the Iron Mask with Leonardo DiCaprio, you need to go out there and make yourself fucking watch that movie because it's amazing. I love that film.
You have people, coming close with nasty armpits next to your face, staying there until you tell them the truth. We got people picking out toenails. We have all sorts of different tortures. You might think a cold drop on your forehead for hours and hours is not going to do much to you. Well, this is where you're wrong because history says different. You don't believe me? I'm going to show you. You're gonna look so stupid after I do it and you see the results. They use this for torturing method. Spies, they catch them. Come here, you donkey! Tell me the truth. How many troops do you have on the other side? I will never speak. I will die before I speak. And then, they put him down. They rope him up.
Well, here's the way it works. Here's why Chinese water torture works. It's not even, it's about the prolonged process. So the way that weeb washing works is you get somebody there, you strap them to a table where they cannot move, and they can't move their head, and it's just endless dropping for hours and days upon end, and you can't sleep, you can't think. It's always the repetition of the drop, and it makes you go mad. That's the way it works. So like this streamer doing this for probably like an hour or a couple hours at max until he runs out of drops, it's not really the same thing, because like they used to like strap people down for days on end to do this shit, because it's about inducing madness more than anything else. It's like the different, like somebody brought up waterboarding, right? Waterboarding was to get the answer you needed right then, right? It was about like a quicker, more not effective, because all torture doesn't really work, because people will basically tell you whatever the fuck that you want to hear. Yeah, dude, I definitely slept with every dude in the entire platoon. I sucked all their cocks, and he might not have. He probably didn't suck all their cocks, but he knows that they want him to say he sucked all the cocks. So he's sitting there just like willing and able to say anything that he can to get out of the situation. The difference with Chinese water torture is that they don't want any information from this man. They want zero information from this jabroni. They just want to put them through hell and induce madness, and that's what this form of torture does. This is kind of in the same like vein as like the medieval rat torture and stuff, where they got their information. They just want to ruin a motherfucker.
And bloop, 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 just cold water on his forehead, and just after a few hours he's going to tell the truth. You're going to break no matter how tough you are. I'm not gonna say it. I'm never going to say it. This will not break me.
By the way, the fucking jacked cat in the background is kind of funny.
My name is Kush. I'm single. I'm 6'4", and I have an 11.5-inch cucumba dragon.
No, he doesn't. Let's be honest. His penis isn't that big. He's lying. Most men lie about their penises, except for me. Because I'm the micro penis king. I got the smallest junk in the entire world. All these motherfuckers trying to pretend that they have big dicks and how they have less intellect. But me, no. My intellect is very, very superior to most because of my below average penis size. It is the best thing I got going for me, guys.
I didn't expect that to work. Just forget whatever I said to you. Who knew, huh? Who knew the truth would actually come out? But anyways, back to this streamer over here. After passing his 16-hour...
Why the fuck did he go grab a fish? Like, why did he grab a fish? Like, honestly, what the fuck is the fish for? Like, I know it's a fake fish, but who buys that realistic looking of a fish just for, like, 2 seconds? He shoves it up his ass. We all have a fish we shove up our ass. My bad. I shouldn't have even asked, bro. I'm kink shaming.
Oh. But anyways, back to this streamer over here. After passing his 16-hour mark on doing this challenge, after he banked up on this whole stream, people obviously love to see you get tortured. Why not? That's something new. That's not something that happens every single day. He got up like nothing happened and was like, yo, that was fun, chat.
How is it not draining, dude?
No, he wasn't that committed, even though he was there for like 16 hours.
Holy,
he has a fucking
fuck,
blank,
dude. Well, hi, lava pooping. Dude, could you imagine lava pooping on your chest and just burning a fucking hole? You're just... It's just like lava shits on your chest. There's just a big lava monster. He spreads his asshole and just like drops, and it just melts a hole through your fucking body. It's the most grotesque thing anybody's seen. But it would also be kind of funny. Also, I thought he did this for a few hours. 16 hours? Who has that fucking amount of dedication? That's when I see these people doing like 24-hour streams. I'm like, no, absolutely fucking not, dude. I get on for a couple hours and I get off and my ass feels like somebody just fucking slapped it with a paddle for 35 minutes.
Kids. And the reason why you would think, oh, Kush, well, he said that was fun. He just got up like nothing ever happened. Well, this method doesn't work. This is where you're wrong. The way for this method to work is you can't have chats speaking with you or you reading the chat. Chat, you enjoyed the stream? We having fun, chat? No, you need to be alone in your own thoughts in a dark room and just bloop, 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 bloop.
Also, the fact that these guys can move their heads is kind of the opposite. They used to just like put like actually strap people's heads down. It was like actually way more insane. It wasn't just 12 hours. They'd have these motherfuckers there for a couple days. And it would like they'd get them they would like fucking not even feed them. They were just like waiting for them to die and shit. It was medieval times, bro. They didn't fuck around at that time period. There was like a torture where they would put a dude in a barrel, right? In like one of those like barrels they make whiskey in, but it would have a bunch of holes carved in it, and people would just walk in and shove their dicks in to bother these people. This is a real torture. I'm not making this up. It was like dick in a box torture. They just were fucking weird back then, bro.
That's the way it works. And protecting your eyes from the water is also a way to make this whole thing extremely easier. But the way it works is you need to be alone with your own thoughts. That's the way they torture. I mean, still respect the hustle for 16 hours. It's not something easy to do. Lay down for 16 hours. You would want to move like so bad. But there've been people who've been staying away for like a week. We got people standing still for like 24 hours. We have all these type of challenges. This is by far one of the easy ones. Was the bag worth it? I have no idea how much someone donated to him. I honestly don't think anything is worth it to be tortured on stream for the sake of entertainment. Now there's a difference between a video of you being tortured and a live stream of you being tortured. The difference is awkwardness and embarrassment, I would say. Imagine you're live streaming and you're torturing yourself and you make like $1.50 from like 16 hours of torture. That's sad. But if you torture yourself in a YouTube...
Yeah, and well, I just looked up. I got an article right here from Dextero. I decided to do a little bit of fucking legwork here. I'm an investigative journalist right now. Put me on the same level as all these fucking idiots on the internet that say that they're actually informed. Twitch streamer banned after letting viewers pay to torment him with Chinese water torture. Twitch streamer Izidor has been banned from the platform after literally torturing himself using dripping water for views in one of the wildest stunts on the net. It's not even that wild. This isn't even the fucking first time. You can literally look up on YouTube, and I'm sure like 57 other people have done this. When I went to look up a thumbnail for this video, I found a bunch of thumbnails. Like, I just used the Houdini one, but I found a bunch of fucking a bunch of these live leaks are getting mild. Oh yeah. They are pretty lame, but like I found like 18 thumbnails of other YouTubers doing this shit. Twitch streamers have found a variety of creative ways to get their eyes get eyes on the broadcast over the years. For example, Ludwig. Shut the fuck up. I hate Ludwig, bro. But he put himself inside of a glass box for 2 days to raise money for charity. Let's get to where he's banned, bro. Jesus, this is why I hate these articles. They want to suck every 2 minutes. Oh, they got a fucking Yeet account, bro. I'm sure I'm dumb dummies from now, but yeah, dude, he got banned for 24 hours. We got Yeet here. Yeet is like social media TMZ. He also like blasts Hassan a bunch, which is funny, but yeah. So it looks like he got banned, which honestly, it's not like he had fucking safety glasses on it at a certain point. He was wiping his face with a rag. It's not the same as him actually being tortured, guys. What the fuck are we doing?
Video, yes, you are doing it for money. It's slightly for entertainment as well, but the upside is you don't have to get awkward and silent for 16 hours and, yap with your Twitch chat. Guys, send more. You want to see me get
the worst fucking part about this too is like this guy did this, right? And this guy got banned for having like a 16-hour stream of water dropping on his head, right? And it's funny that we're now living in a point in time where doing like crazy shit like this will get you banned, but fucking Jackass made an entire career off of doing stupid shit like this. Like, come on, guys. They literally shot a rocket dildo into Bam Margera's asshole, and we're we're banning people for fucking water dropping on their head. It's not like he was like, you saw him sit up from the table. He could have got up at any time. This wasn't actual torture. Get the fuck out of here, guys.
Send more. I think it's stupid. I think this whole...
Now, I'm not condoning you going out and doing this for the bag. I'm not saying that you should go like put yourself in harm's way for money. I'm just highlighting the hypocrisy of how these shits work. And I think if you are gonna do something fucking crazy and stupid, you should put a little disclaimer like Jackass used to put that. Don't try this at home, I'm a professional, or I know how to suck the best dick or whatever, before you start doing this crazy shit. But I don't, like, I think Twitch bans people over the stupidest fucking things.
Genre of donate so I can get tortured, donate or I will die. Like, if you need money that badly, just go get a job and do this because you love it, and don't embarrass yourself, because the more you embarrass yourself, guess what? The more people are not going to donate. Yes, you get this.
But I mean, at the same time, every time you open up the camera, there's going to be people, I'm sure there's people on this video who are talking shit to this guy and being a dick to him for even covering this. Like, who cares, dude? Dude, your voice fucking sucks. Oh, dude, you're fucking, you got a weird beard. Or you know how fucking people are on the internet. I'm going to get it on this video. I mean, we're all making assholes out of ourselves. We're all embarrassing ourselves online. It's just, we don't even know when we're embarrassing ourselves. So, like, who the fuck cares? I mean, like, if he wants to, like, have somebody piss on his forehead for 13 hours straight, why not let him?
A bit of, you know, change here and there for these type of stunts, but on the long term, it is not a good idea. But people nowadays are very lazy. If I can sit in front of a TikTok camera and say hi, especially the women on TikTok are crazy. I'm not kidding when I tell you I come across this girl every time I'm scrolling through TikTok whenever I'm taking a shit.
Bro, dude, and then he stops taking a shit and fiercely masturbates because he sees this chick and he gets thirsty as well, bro. He sees her and he sees her tits and he's just like...
And her caption says she's sitting and she's hi. Her feet are up in the air, and she's like, I can't pay rent this month. And I swear to God, I came across her a week later. She wrote, what? I can't pay my debt this month. I can't pay my loan this month. And expects people to just donate. And guess what? People do donate. Anyways, I was more interested into this Chinese drop torture rather than this guy's stream. Just wanted to share that with you as well. Take it easy. I'll see you at the next one.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's kind of funny how he did like something that I'm sure if I pull up like Chinese water torture test. Well, let's see how many videos we can pull up. Okay, we got why the water, 8 hours straight. 1. Okay, that one's on it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that the same channel? No. 5. Mythbuster 6. 7. 8. I mean, there's fucking tons of people to do this shit. This guy's not original for doing this. Like, 3 years ago, surviving 90 minutes of water torture. I mean, like, you got 3 years ago, I survived 8 hours of Chinese water torture. It's not like this is that crazy, guys. I feel like this guy got banned, and he just he fucking probably stumbled upon one of these videos. Like, dude, I need who beat me at Chinese water torture wins $1,000. I mean, this is just, I feel like this is even more egregious, right? This guy's done multiple videos. Tyler Kaspetti or Tyler Kasari's done like multiple of these videos. Oh, like this. Last to leave water torture gets $10,000. Another video 5 years ago. So this guy's just ripping off this guy. Look how fucking many of these shits exist on the internet already. This isn't new. When I saw this drama, I was like, wait, this guy got fucking banned for this? This is the type of shit we're fucking soy jacking over, we're fucking angry jerking in the closet about? Is this one guy wanted to get a little bit of money, so he thought of a cool idea, did something different than just flashing his dick on screen? Like, come on, it's not that big of a deal. But honestly, that's all I have to say on that one. I think it's kind of dumb that he got banned. And I think the whole thing is kind of funny. I mean, he didn't even like, all these other people are like tied down, strapped down. This dude's just sitting under his fucking weight bench with water dripping on his head with a towel and safety glasses. He was more safe than like 87% of these other idiots. Like, come on, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here. This is wild. But that's all I got. Like, subscribe, comment. Don't like, leave an angry comment. I don't care. All right, the next one we got, boys and girls, the next one we got is Dark Age Spawn. That's right. So I reacted to, I like pulled in, I got the beginnings of Middle Ages Spawn, or fucking whatever that, the other medieval Spawn. The other medieval Spawn I reacted to, and I was kind of disappointed because he's like one of the coolest looking spawns, but I feel like he just hasn't gotten enough exposure, so there's not enough information about him. But there's another medieval Spawn called the Dark Age Spawn, because they didn't want to just make a medieval Spawn comic, they wanted to make the Dark Age Spawn comic, which I think he looks way less cool, but I want to learn about him. Maybe I was wrong in my assumption that he is the most mid Spawn. Now this video is coming from Dope Spill Comics, Dark Age Spawns, the origin of the Black Knight. Let's get into it.
So I've been thinking, with us recently talking about the origin of Al Simmons, the Spawn that most people know. And I know quite a few of you have been wanting me to get into Spawn for a minute now, I know. But for me, it's just two things. One, it's been a while since I've read Spawn comics. And I mean a good while, like years. So I've been doing some brushing up, but it's a lot. But because you guys have been asking and we're getting closer to—
By the way, he's not wrong. Spawn comics are... like, most Spawn comics are like giant pages of dialogue and like 2% action. That is what most Spawn comics are. It's just a dialogue dump, a little bit of action, more dialogue dump. Lore. I enjoyed it when I was younger, and I'm hovering the mouse over the fucking Dark Age Spawn's dick right now, but I enjoy it myself, but I can see how it get kind of tedious on a read.
Film coming out, I figured why not just test the waters, talking about them a little bit, and just see kind of where it goes from there. But the second thing that I was thinking about is that,
dude, he said a new film coming out. This was 6 fucking years ago. I covered this when I did the Middle Age Spawn, and I was like, yeah, dude, it's been forever since this movie's supposed to have been coming out. And this motherfucker's like, the film might be coming out 6 fucking years ago. This movie's never coming out, bro. It was supposed to come out this year, and we have zero information about it.
now in 2018, I kind of feel like not a lot of people know who Spawn is. And I'm pretty sure that everybody watching this video on the day that it posts, that subscribe to the page, shout out to the notification squad, I'm sure all of you guys know who Spawn is, as far as Al Simmons. But aside from the hardcore fans and those who were like generally interested back in the day, like aside from those two groups, I feel like your newer comic book fans that, and when I say newer, I mean even started reading comics probably like in 2008 or something like that, or even a few years after that, and they're probably intrigued.
That's about when I started falling off of comics. Was like it was probably like 2010, 2011 is when I stopped reading comics. I just got more I became a bit of a movie nerd. I was always a bit of a movie nerd, but I just kind of way focused on like watching movies. I was doing a lot more acting. I was starting to like hone comedy at the time. And I just kind of fell off of comics, but I still have like a deep love in the pit of my ball sack for all this shit. Every time I see a superhero movie come out, I usually end up watching it, even though a lot of the ones that we've had in the recent years have been fucking booty cheeks. Like, absolutely, you're basically just going outside and eating dog shit every time you go to a Marvel movie. But a part of me still wants to watch it because I was living in a drought when I was a kid of like good superhero movies, so there's still that fucking optimism I had because we had a good run there for a second.
The MCU and started picking up comics after that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But because of that, I really feel like there's a huge number of the comic book fans of today that really just don't know Spawn. And they might even just say that they do just to save face and not look crazy. Or because they feel embarrassed that they don't know. But that's mainly why I did the origin video earlier this week, to possibly familiarize some people, but also lay the groundwork to do a couple Spawn videos talking about some of the comics that I really liked. And much like I said, just test the water and see if you guys want to talk more Spawn in the future. So with that being said, put on your brown pants, because in this video, I want to talk about Spawn, the Dark Ages. And this is a story that takes place like in your 11th century, not long after the beginning of the Crusades. And what makes it very interesting is that it's a story being told with some facts, but then it takes that history and it blends it together with the Spawn mythology. Because in the actual Crusades that started in the year 1095, you had your Western European Christians who were fighting against Muslim armies from Arabia who had taken much of their land some 400 years prior.
Bro, I know I'm pausing this again, but like look at this. Look at this compared to like this is medieval Spawn, bro. That's medieval Spawn. Look how hard that goes. It just looks so sick. Everything you pull from medieval Spawn looks so amazing, dude. Like, oh, so sick. And then you look up Dark Age Spawn, and I'm just like, I just don't like the Dark Age Spawn in terms of its overall design. What the fuck? What happened to? I hit delete. Sometimes my autism shows so hard. I don't have autism, but like, you look at medieval Spawn, and it's like cool, but it's not. I don't know. It just doesn't hit as hard, bro. Like, it's fine. It's fine. It's just like a darker, gloomier looking version of Medieval Spawn, and Medieval Spawn's already peak. Why the fuck would you? Why didn't you just do Medieval Spawn again? Like, why didn't you just do Medieval Spawn and, like, make this his backstory? I don't know.
And so in the year 1095, when Pope Urban II called for the First Crusade, he called for European knights left and right to reclaim the land that these Muslim armies from Arabia had taken. And in this particular story, you had your Black Knight, also known as Lord Covenant. And for Lord Covenant, it was much like the history books, because in the actual crusade, these knights that went to fight, they were only fighting for spiritual merit. They weren't being paid.
Hey, Goth Spawn, Goth Daddy Spawn is what this Spawn is, dude. He's like, I'm Goth Daddy, I'm the Black Knight, oh, look how scary I am. And then Medieval Spawn's over there just looking fucking doper than shit, and people just like, we're not gonna write a story for that fucking idiot. No, we want Goth Sad Boy Spawn.
Only fighting to get back their land, primarily Jerusalem. And Lord Covenant truly believed in fighting to get that land back by any means necessary. And he believed that whatever actions he took, if he were to die in the field, that the heavens would just pardon him and he would just get a pass because his intentions were pure. And many of the men that went with Lord Covenant, they just saw it as an opportunity to get spoils. But Lord Covenant was the real deal. And so now the way that we're kind of thrown into this, we're given the narration of a kid named Pevin, and he's playing hide and seek with his friends, and we're not really told how old Pevin is at this time. But after the video, I'd like a few of you guys to guess down in the comments. But while him and his friends are
He's
playing
actually 45, he just has dwarfism.
this game, he comes across this huge dude who's just pretty much looking for directions, almost as if he's waiting for somebody. And he asks Pevin whose castle is that in the distance. Pevin tells him, well, it's this Lord Covenant guy who was gone before I was born. And Pevin said he heard it was haunted. And the mysterious dude is like, nah, not yet, but it will be. Then he gives the kid an apple. He tells Pevin to tell no one of their conversation. Pevin's friends find him, and then the mysterious dude is just gone, like without a trace. Almost as if he was never there to begin with. But much further east, you have the Baron and his captain at arms, Guy de Blanc. And as far as Guy, like, don't let the pretty face fool you. Like, he be bringing heads back. And in his servitude to Baron Revelin, whether it's collecting taxes or in this case bringing back a certain relic to these three witches, de Blanc, he may enjoy like the head rolling part a bit more than he should. But the Baron needs de Blanc to deliver because he's made a deal with these witches.
Bro,
that if he
those witches be stacked the fuck up. Look at these witches, bro. They stack the fuck up. I mean, they come to me and they ask me something. I'm gonna be like, listen, I feel like you guys are the bad guys, so I'm not gonna help you. But nice tits, dog.
gives them what they want, then they'll heal his wife who's currently plagued with illness. But it's around this time that a spawn is birthed. And this is not like a peaceful or a quiet birth. Like, it's pretty loud and pretty grotesque at the same time. And when this spawn arrives in the cemetery, like, these dudes go to check it out, and man, it's like wrong place at the wrong time. And between the sound of him
What
screaming,
he means is he ripped their heads off and had sex with their skulls.
and the sound of these three dudes getting slaughtered, like the screaming and the wailing, it's heard from a great distance. And just as a result, different people are making their assumptions of what happened, and others are going to investigate.
Again, like, before this fades out completely, the reason I don't like Medieval Spawn that much is I feel like he almost looks too much like... Oh, shit. It was, the Dark Judges from... what are the Dark Judges from Judge Dredd? Dark Judges, Judge Dredd, images. I can't remember which one it was. It's this one. It's this one right here. So this is why I medieval spawn bothers me, because he just looks like an iteration of this judge right here, the one that throws bear traps at people. That's the one he looks like, and it kind of bothers me a lot. It's like it just kind of looks like that. I mean, I don't know which one came first. I think I'm pretty positive the Dark Judges came first, because I think they came out in like the 80s. So it just looks like an iteration of that, and that kind of bothers me because of the fact that it's like it's what I don't know. It's the look of Dark Age Spawn. When you have medieval Spawn, it looks like iconically like Spawn, but also like a cool knight in armor. And then you see Dark Age Spawn, and it just looks like fucking. I think it's Fear. I think it's Judge Fear is the one. I'm almost positive it's Judge Fear. I think it's Judge Fear. Yeah, it's Judge Fear. So it literally Dark Age Spawn. Let's pull up Judge Fear, right? This is Judge Fear right there. And then you go Dark Age Spawn, and it's just so similar, bro. It's so similar. I don't like how they look. I trying to find a good fucking image of Dark Age. Let's just go this one, whatever. Dark Age Spawn is just a buffer, angrier version. He's got the Batwing helmet. He's got everything. Like, there we go. Dark Age Spawn. Judge Fear. It's to me, it's almost looking at the same fucking picture, and that's why I don't. When you can look at medieval Spawn, and he looks fucking iconically like Spawn, and this guy just looks fucking generic in a way it's not identifiable as, oh, that's fucking Spawn. I don't know. I could be off base. I could be the asshole here. It's just, for me, I don't like his design.
And amongst those assumptions, some people are saying it's just wolves, others are saying the devil has come on earth. Like, keep in mind, during the Crusades, you had some people who felt so hopeless that many of them would reach for any type of story of hope or belief, or even disbelief as a result of despair. And much of that hope for a lot of people didn't come back to the end of the First or the Third Crusade. And at this point in time, with it taking place early in the First Crusade,
it's gonna be okay, bud. No, I'm over here just for me, it's just it's my critique on this character, because I mean, I feel like I've been diving into a bunch of fucking Spawn lately, and I feel like there's so many great designs of so many great Spawn iterations out there, and this one I feel like it's one of those things. So there's stuff in media and stuff where you'll find where they will have a character that deserves more screen time, that deserves more love, and there'll be a fan base wanting to see it. So so people will say, oh, well, they really want this, but I don't really want to do that iteration. I'm just gonna make something new, and they just create a new character, but it's very similar to another character that's already existing in the canon, and it just feels like a weird overlap that wasn't necessary when they could have just utilized the Spawn that was already created. You know what I mean?
far and wide, you also had a group of people just believing what they wanted to believe. And with all this commotion coming from the cemetery and people making up what they wanted to believe of what it was, what was actually happening there was the rebirth of the Black Knight. And just like any Spawn, when he first arrives, when he's first reborn, he has no memory of what happened or what deal he made to get here. He doesn't know who he was, and he has even the furthest clue of what he is. And much like a newborn baby,
do you really want to spend the rest of your life?
Like, for me too, he almost looks more like one of the enemies of Spawn than a Spawn itself too. And I think that's kind of another issue I have, is instead of it looking, this is more like something I'd see like a Spawn enemy than an actual Spawn.
Learn to speak all over again, which doesn't take him too long. You know, a few issues in, he's using full sentences, but it's more so the adjustment to his new body that he's just figuring out. And because he woke up in rage and confusion, the guys that he ran into not long after he first arrived, they were slain not out of any malice, but once again it was more so wrong place, wrong time. But as it turned out, Guy DeBlanc came to this nearby cabin to investigate the murders from the graveyard. And like I mentioned before,
bro, Guy DeBlanc has been mewing for fucking 18 centuries just so that he can meet Spawn and do the fucking blue steel face from Zoolander.
Takes pleasure in just walking over people. And at the first opportunity, he just kills a man for trying to stand up for someone else. But little did he know that soon as he took that guy out, the Black Knight came through there, and he didn't attack him first. Like, he saved Guy for last, but not so he can go back and tell a message, but he cut off like half his face.
Oh,
True.
that's cool. I always like when they take like an overly attractive character, right? Because you could tell that they're drawn to be as attractive as possible. I mean, this motherfucker was mewing, and he was preparing to be fucking Ben Stiller and fucking blue steel all over a dick, right? And then they take him and they brutalize them and turn him into a kind of a monster in and of themselves, which then leads to like insanity. I do love this. I'm actually really vibing with the story, too. And all gripes about what I have to say about Spawn's design for this iteration, I do think that the story we're getting so far is a pretty interesting dynamic.
True savagery, like level 1 million. And it's almost like he wanted him to live just to make a statement. But after leaving from that cabin and heading to somewhere more familiar, on DeBlanc's horse by the way, took half his face and all his ride. But by heading to somewhere familiar, he made his way back to his castle, and waiting for him there was the same old man that was anticipating his arrival, waiting for this certain amount of years to pass by. And his name is Cagliostro. Yup, the same Cagliostro who up to 800 years later would mentor Al Simmons when he became Spawn. And for Lord Covenant, he would pretty much play that same role for the most part, because when he met Al, the conversation was a bit different. It was more so, I'm gonna train you and you make your decision what you're gonna do. But at this point in time, when Cog introduces himself, he's like, I'm here to teach you because this is the deal that you made. And the Black Knight still barely able to form words. Like at this point, the most he can say is, who am I? Because much like Al Simmons, or I'll even say in his case even worse, because for Lord Covenant, the little bit that's coming back to him on his own, it's very minimal. Like before he came across Cog, he put little to nothing together on his own.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that this guy couldn't even fucking talk when he was first reborn into the world is way worse than Al Simmons. Al Simmons could actually, like, form sentences and shit. This guy, like, it's like they lobotomized him and said, okay, you're born again. He's like, oh, go, go, gaga, kill, kill, kill.
He was desperately in dire need of answers. And Cagliostro obliged. And when this happened, it was countless moments from his past happening all at the same time, being poured into his mind. All the battles, all the...
Bro just bukkakied him with his fucking memories, dude. He just fucking laid all the memory semen on fucking Dark Age Spawn's face. Jesus, this is sick.
Everything being poured in at one time. And I don't know, I kind of feel like Cog could have kind of just eased up on it a little bit, because you could just imagine someone whose mind has been wiped and literally has like the mind of a child, like just blank.
Nah, rip that fucking band-aid off, dog. It'll hurt for a second, but once it's like it's gonna be a bit of overload, but once it's there, it's there. It's not like you're piecing it together. All of a sudden you just remember everything. It would hurt, but it would be like better than just fucking like fighting somebody and then all of a sudden, oh, it's hitting me again. No, not the memory come, not the memory come, not again. I would rather just rip the band-aid off and have like a really fucking bad day where I get all my memories back than like constantly getting like just anally like attacked every time I'm in a battle with a stupid memory.
And you're gonna take that mind, you're gonna pour in all the gore, all the bloodshed, you're gonna pour in the pride and the guilt at the same time, and then top it off with him reliving his death and losing his very soul. Like, it was...
Bro, that fucking booty with that tail, though, is going hard, bro.
Too much. He couldn't take it. And in response, he just punched Cagliostro and took off into the wilderness, cursing the heavens, cursing hell, and just weeping in devastation. But that was only the beginning. Yeah, pretty dark. But yeah, that's Spawn for you. And like with the issues that cover the Dark Ages, like as far as the substantial amount of time that it took him to be able to speak, like what I mentioned in the last video talking about Spawn's origin, Al Simmons Spawn, but with now going back to the Black Knight in the Spawn Dark Age series, it kind of...
The Dark Age series has incredible artwork too. I'm not taking... I feel like people are gonna watch this and think that I just hate Dark Age Spawn when it's more of a... It's more of an issue with this helm and the comparison I have with Medieval Spawn. But I actually think the artwork in this comic is incredible. I mean, the features, everything about it is so fucking good. So, I mean, it's just, I feel like from a design perspective, I have a gripe with the main design of the main character, but every other design fucking is slapping a bunch of clits. So I really don't see any issue with the rest of it.
Makes me think of some of the stuff we've heard about the film, with Todd McFarlane saying that the new Spawn won't be speaking. And I still believe it to be what I mentioned before, that he'll just be a few words and he'll probably have a few lines here and there in the film. But even more so than just that, with going back and reading
By the way, this guy's talking about the film that Todd McFarlane was talking about at this time, how he was going to get it done, it was going to happen. This was 6 fucking years ago. This video came out 6 fucking years ago, which is an incredible video, but it just shows the fucking horror that has been that movie development, and I don't think it's gonna be good. I want it to be good. I want the new Spawn movie to be amazing. I'm a Spawn fan, so I would love to see a good Spawn movie, but 6 years of development and we have jack shit to show for it? Come the fuck on. It's gonna be a dumpster fire.
On the Dark Ages, I kind of feel like they'll kind of take that route, with him just taking longer to be able to speak and getting used to his new body. And that's not to say that the new film will
he won't speak because it's not coming. I mean, last time I covered it, I did look it up, and like last year they were saying it was coming out this year, and this year there's literally no information on it yet. They're like, it's got Jamie Foxx. Okay, cool, I fucking guess.
Place during the Crusades or anything like that, but I think they'll kind of take some of the more grittier or the tougher learning curve, I should say, that this version of Spawn had to go through, just as an example. So when we see him finally get his flashbacks and become who we know him to be, there's a deeper connection with the character. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Smash that like button if you learned something new, and we'll do it again on the next one. Alright.
I mean, here's the thing.
Hey guys, what's happening?
I do think I do like.
I'm obsessed.
Jesus Christ Almighty in my butthole. Jesus. Anyways, I do think here's where my perspective is on the whole situation with like, I liked that Spawn. I think Dark Age Spawn has like some real intrigue there. I like the story it told. I don't I think it got canceled. I think Dark Age Spawn got canceled pretty early, so I don't think we got a lot of issues about him. I'm pretty sure it's complete collection. I don't think it ever finished. And I don't know why it didn't cover that. They didn't cover why it didn't get finished in that one. I just remember in another video, I think they said that he never got a true ending, and it was kind of got mixed reviews. What I saw there was sick though. I have to say that was really, really freaking cool, dude. I enjoyed the shit out of that. My thing though, when it comes to where Spawn's at, is it's just kind of, he brought up the movie, so I'm going to talk about the movie for a second. When I saw McFarlane say that Spawn really wasn't going to talk, I just started in my head kind of seeing that he wants to make a monster movie, which I don't know if can work for Spawn, right? It's going to be a bunch of regular characters with dialogue the whole time, and Spawn's gonna pop in and out like the Predator and Predator 2, because it's gonna be in New York City, so, or whatever city Spawn takes place in. I think it's in New York, or it's a made-up city. But the fact that you're just gonna be sitting there and it's going to be 100% just fucking, so bad guys are dying. Why is there death happening? What is this monster that's doing this? And you might get like moments of Spawn coming out of the darkness and killing things and fighting these other monsters, and you're seeing like the atrocities going down from like a third perspective or something. It could work, but I feel like it takes away from the story of Spawn to begin with. I don't know. I think I'm really cautious about it. I'm not optimistic about it at all. So I'm cautiously wary about the whole Spawn development of the movie. And it just kind of seems like it's just gonna flop, dude. It's gonna flop. I know it's gonna be more of an indie thing. I don't see it being like I think the best thing that could happen is if McFarlane got like a really cool team behind it, somebody that was like some impeccable writers who could like go through the comics and actually like create a really engaging story. But McFarlane wants to hold Spawn as close to his fucking mushroom tip as he possibly can and just stroke it endlessly, that I don't think we're gonna get anything cool. But Dark Age Spawn like surprised me. I went in very, very, very kind of against Dark Age Spawn, and I feel like it kind of won me over a little bit. I'll have to do a little more information. If you have any suggestions or any other Spawn ideas for the channel, or even other characters you want me to cover, make sure to leave it leave me a comment down below. I would love to see your suggestions. Like and subscribe. Don't like. Leave an angry comment. I don't give a shit. But yeah, that's all I have about on Dark Age Spawn. We'll have to just keep on diving into the pussy of all sorts of fun, engaging characters for the future. All right. It is, you know, guys, I was, let's see here. Let's watch one more. We'll watch one more. We're gonna do one more, and then I gotta get off. I gotta go to work. So I think I'm gonna do this one. This is called Crunchyroll, the worst way to watch anime, which is, I actually have tried watching anime and stuff on... I will. Oh, the Punisher. The Punisher is a really good pull. I will cover the Punisher. I used to read Punisher comics when I was a kid, so I really enjoy the Punisher. I have Punisher collector's cards, actually. I'm a big Punisher fan. I definitely, that is something I'll start adding to my thing. I want to do like I could go through all the villains of Punisher. I could go through the Punisher origin story. That is a really good idea. I'll add him to the list. But we're going to get into Crunchyroll, the worst way to watch anime. This is by Framing the Narrative. I want to be honest, I haven't tried High Dive, but I've tried, like, I've watched, I have Hulu, and Hulu has, like, a pretty decent catalog of different anime, and Hulu is the most annoying way to watch anything, because, like, let's say I put it on at night, and I fall asleep to it, right? And then I try to go back and rewatch the episodes. For some reason, Hulu likes to keep every episode right at the very end of the episode, and I have to manually scroll all the way back to the beginning every single time. Every single time you have to start over, and it's so annoying. But let's get into this. We'll see why he thinks Crunchyroll is the worst, because I kind of like Crunchyroll a bit.
It blows my mind that Crunchyroll has to completely remove every social element on their platform for people to realize that.
Oh, I never watched Punisher Warzone. When I saw that Thomas Jane wasn't going to be in it and he said that he couldn't do it, I decided not to watch Punisher Warzone, and I haven't watched it since. I mean, he literally read the script and said, "No, I don't want to do this. Can we make it dark and gritty?" And the studio said, "No, it's a comic book movie," and because of that, Thomas Jane said that he couldn't do it, and that made me think that I didn't want to watch it. I need to watch it though. I hear the fans of Punisher Warzone are pretty adamant that it's a really fun movie, and the anti-Warzone people say that the movie should have never been made. So I need to really watch it and make my own opinion on it.
It's missing some features, when free alternatives have had 10 times the features and customization for years. Of course, that'll never change, because most people will still happily pay increasing prices for the most inferior, most controlled viewing experiences available, simply because they're official, streamlined, and convenient. This blows my mind most of all, well, not least of all, because the unofficial platforms are just as convenient after a minuscule learning curve. But most of all, because the most important thing to me is the actual viewing experience of watching any given anime. Something which no one ever seems to be interested in talking about with any serious expectations.
So what I'm guessing is we're talking about like Pirate Bay type stuff here, and we're talking about like some of the stuff you can. I've had some apps in the past before I got Crunchyroll, because I used to have Funimation. I use that Funimation because I'm a dub guy. I don't like I don't like sub. I just don't. I mean, I'm watching the shit for the animation, the fights, everything else. I don't want to be reading the dialogue. Now, every once in a while, I'll watch in sub. But I have to get to a point in the anime itself where I'm so fucking hooked that I need to know what happens next, and I'm already caught up with where the dub's at. That's when I will watch the sub, but I won't start a show in sub ever. It's just not something I'll do. And I think that I before I had Crunchyroll, I had Funimation because they were more of the dub platform. And if it wasn't on Funimation, I would use like the unofficial streaming type sources. And they were okay, but it wasn't like I could like put the app on my TV and just run the fucking app. It was always like a bunch of extra steps. When Funimation combined into Crunchyroll, I just like continued paying because I utilize it. And I have to say, inconvenience is important. A lot of people like to downplay convenience, especially in almost everything. They want to go and downplay convenience and stuff because it's like, well, you could do it this way and it's not that much work. Well, yeah, but I mean, coming home after working all day, you had to deal with a bunch of bullshit. You want to come home and you want to queue up this website on your TV, then go to the thing you're watching, go to the right fucking drop down, click on that, when it doesn't just continue, and some of them don't continuously play. I don't know, it's just so much simplistic. It already remembers my library where it's at. The convenience is very nice, especially when you have a lot of other things going on in your life.
As if the only question that matters is, why aren't you licensing literally every anime I want to watch? And I'm gonna say it, it's an incredibly stupid question. Not just because it's impossible, not just because having a company like HIDIVE/Sentai, who licenses more of the niche and risque stuff as competition, is literally a good thing, but because if they don't have it, you
Desert Punk, the dub is great. I've never heard of Desert Punk. That is something I have never heard of. Desert Punk anime. Is it on Crunchyroll? Is it? Let's see here. Let's see. I've never heard of this. This is completely new. I'm definitely down to watch it. Fuck you. Where to watch? Fuck. Let's see here. Crunchyroll. It's on Crunchyroll. So I'll have to give this a shot. This is definitely something I will put on my watch later. This is it seems interesting. So it kind of giving me Fist of the North Star type vibes because of the post-apocalyptic thing, and I wanted to get into Fist of the North Star, but it's all subs, so I'm not gonna watch it. But this looks pretty good. I'll have to fucking put this on my list. Thanks, guys.
You can just watch it somewhere else.
Amazing.
It's not that difficult, and there's no pointless guilt required. There are a multitude of other ways to support the shows if you so desire. The question I see no one asking is the actual viewing experience actually worth the premium? My experience watching any given anime on the allegedly premium, paid platform should be the superior experience, with the most options, the most features, and the most control over my viewing experience. And you know what that means? It means that if you provide 0 features, 0 options, and 0 customization, you have 0 value to offer me, and I have 0 reason to give you money. It doesn't matter how many licenses you can afford. If I can go to any number of alternative options and watch any given anime with a better, more fleshed out viewing experience, which I am in control of, which I can, easily and conveniently, contrary to popular belief, if I can do that, why would I watch literally anything on Crunchyroll? And I know, I hear you saying, to support the industry. Duh. Except that I've dumped more money into the industry this year than an entire lifetime of my Crunchyroll subs will. And I don't even buy that much of this stuff. I'd buy more if I had more room. But who cares, right? Who cares if you can't change the playback speed? So what if you can't mix subs with dubs? And why should it matter if some of the anime on HIDIVE and all of the anime on YouTube have these features by default? Why should it matter that there are no excuses for not having these features? Who cares that you can't choose a custom resolution while casting, or that the audio gets compressed into the pits of hell when the auto resolution falls below threshold? So what if there's no sorting or filtering? Why should it matter that the quote-unquote search page is just a glorified recommendations page with the absolute most basic search feature?
Okay, that is something that I do have a problem with this, and this is actually a problem I have with like Hulu too. I don't have HIDIVE. I don't have the other one too. I think it's on YouTube too. I added it to my watch list. I added the Desert Punk to my watch list on Crunchyroll. But here's my thing. I hate the recommended on Crunchyroll. I don't like their main page. Oh, like sometimes it's really good, but the problem with Crunchyroll's main page is it just recommends the same shit all the time. I've never seen Desert Punk recommended to me. That is something I've never seen, and it is something I have been trying to avoid 12 episode shits because I'm so sick of starting a show and then it ending on a cliffhanger and then waiting 6 years. So I try to get at least 24 episodes so I feel like I actually get like a bit of content before I have to fucking find a new show to watch, because there's nothing more irritating to me than just endlessly scrolling for new content. But I feel like the problem is the recommended, and their search function is so bad. Like, take, for example, I wanted to watch The Gray Man, and I couldn't find it on my recently stuff because I haven't watched it in a while. So I typed in D Gray and just hit search, right? Because I figured the first pop-up in any logical search would be the Gray Man, right? D Gray Man. And of course it wasn't in the top search. Then I tried D Gray Man, and then it wasn't in the top. So I went to fucking all of their shows, put it in alphabetical, and scrolled until I found Gray Man, right? It was so fucking irritating. I have to say that the Crunchyroll search functionality is super fucking annoying. It really is.
Who cares that the multi-user detection is broken and locks you out of streaming for minutes at a time because you hit refresh or open the new tab a little too fast? Why should anyone complain if
That is something I've never dealt with because I watch all of my Crunchyroll shit on a TV. I don't ever watch it on the computer. I just like use the TV app. So a lot of this type of shit doesn't pertain to me. Like the audio shit, I haven't ever noticed. The playback speed, never even thought about fucking with that. I'm watching the show. I don't need to speed it up. I'm just like chilling on the couch. I'm like multitasking, editing videos and creating thumbnails, watching whatever show I decided looked the most interesting to me at the moment. And I'm never thinking about the playback speed. And then, like, the multiple tabs, I'm watching it on TV, so that doesn't affect me whatsoever. But, like, and this isn't me trying to defend Crunchyroll, because I think that it is kind of egregious what they're doing by trying to buy up, Sony's trying to buy up, like, the entire anime industry so that they can have so they can basically put these other services like HIDIVE and stuff out of business. And that's kind of why I like Hulu, too, because Hulu gets a lot of the stuff that has been on HIDIVE for a long time, eventually shows up on Hulu. So my wife's able to watch whatever her fucking latest crime drama is, like Blue Bloods or whatever, and I can watch like Dororo.
they continue to drop broken subtitles week after week, which fan subs and torrent hosts end up fixing for free? Why should it matter that popular shows frequently crash or stall their servers while free alternatives continue chugging right along? Who cares that the UI is atrocious and that the app still doesn't even have something as basic as a previous episode button? So what if it takes them years at a time to fix blatantly obvious issues like screenshot blocking and the eternal pause screen overlay while casting? I mean, at least they finally fixed those two, but at this rate, it'll take them a millennium to ever catch up with the rest of these issues.
That's never gonna happen. Ever. 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 Ever.
And those issues are frankly just the tip of the iceberg on the viewing experience. I don't even want to get into their shady business practices. Let me ask you the question as I see it. Am I wrong for having literally any expectations whatsoever in this regard?
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
I understand that every official streaming platform fails on this front, but all that means to me is that streaming platforms, drumroll please, have failed us. But hey, it's no big deal. It's not like literally none of these are issues on free alternatives. It's not like they have every opportunity to just copy what those platforms do better than them. Who cares that their one saving grace, video quality, is better than a free stream but still worse than a torrent in many cases? So what if they fail to update licenses on classic shows that are censored, low quality, missing dubs, missing entire episodes, or in some cases, feature literal compression artifacts in the footage? Who cares that they sold us on the Crunchyroll Funimation merger with slogans like, "Working together to give you more," only to quietly let hundreds of Funimation licenses die in the gutter? So what if they gutted the best?
That I did hate that, because I feel like there was a bunch of stuff I was waiting to watch. I had queued up on Funimation, and I feel like there is a lot of shit that didn't make it in the merger, which sucks because you would have had a massive catalog. I feel like Crunchyroll's catalog would have been so much better, and that's something that I'm seeing with Sony. Sony does this a lot, and people like to fucking love on Sony and shit, but I look at Sony's fucking version of Game Pass, and it's a fucking shit show. And the fact that Sony can't even take the minuscule amount of time to make their like PlayStation 3 games playable on their modern hardware, if they don't even put in the work on that in that area of their company, why the fuck are they going to do it in the anime? And it sucks. But then I look into some of the alternatives like HIDIVE, and I know these are all paid, but again, I'm going to be watching this shit on my TV. I'm not going to fucking pull up a torrent or all this other extra shit when I'm just wanting to watch my shit on like a fucking chill day. I don't want to put in the effort. I don't want to torrent shit. I just want to like enjoy my shit and watch it. So when I come home, I want to like a decently put together streaming service, and this is the best there is right now. And that's kind of sad, especially when Sony's out there kind of strong arming all of these other companies. I think that there is a huge argument for why Crunchyroll should be better because of the fact that Sony's out there trying to make them the monopoly on anime.
website for buying anime manga and merch because Sony simply has to own everything. Why should anyone complain that they're taking on fewer and fewer US physical licenses, with even popular shows like Chainsaw Man from 2 years ago getting releases in the UK before the US ever receives them? Why should it matter that things like the Save Edition and Anime Classics releases are disappearing like a faint memory? Who cares that their physical releases are still twice the price of UK imports of the same quality? And who cares if they're buying out the UK companies too? So what if they're the sole reason you have fewer and fewer options with every passing year? Why should anyone care that they're owned by a company that loves nothing more than out-censoring freaking Nintendo on Japanese video game releases? And who cares that if they continue to grow
Yeah, dude, Sony is like really egregious with censorship on their platform too, which is crazy to me because Microsoft's bad at it too. I'm not gonna say Microsoft's not, but at least Sony will have allow games like Postal on their platform. But Sony is pretty bad about overly censoring on the video game side as well. And it just it's one of those things that I'm hoping Microsoft goes with adding Steam on the Xbox so that you can just have a little more freedom in terms of what games you want on your fucking device. And I think it would force Sony to kind of take a step back. That would be nice. And because there was a controversy a few years ago with like some horror game where Sony wouldn't allow it on their thing because it was too violent or something, which was dumb. It was allowed on Xbox, which is funny because again they allow all the Postal games on PlayStation, but they won't allow this one horror game. Fucking weird.
At this rate, they're going to have more power with similar decisions in the anime industry. Who cares, right? Who cares? No one, apparently, since to no one's surprise they've been growing at an absolutely alarming rate. I don't know whether to blame people's stupidity, laziness, or both, but most have simply accepted all of this. And when the 2 weeks...
Well, and again, I think he's missing a huge critical component here. Most people, I would say about 90% of people do things out of convenience. We are fucking, like, we do so much shit in our lives. We have so much shit going on that we don't want to come home and then put in a lot of fucking effort just to watch a TV show. To be honest, most people don't. It's nice to just turn on the TV, hit click play, and relax for a little bit. That's all people fucking want. So obviously, most people are gonna be gonna look at the one that has a TV app, utilize the TV app, and then be fucking chilling with that. That's how most people are gonna go about this. And I think he can't wrap his head around that in a way, and that's always going to be a crucial downfall. Now, am I saying that all of his critiques aren't correct? Absolutely not, because I think he's making a lot of valid points here. But come on, dude. I mean, you're underselling the most important aspect of this whole situation.
The best news cycle is over. It'll be, who cares that there's no comment section? Who cares that all the reviews are now meaningless numbers with no context? Who cares? I'll just keep paying, I'll just keep supporting these practices, I'll just keep consuming product, looking forward to next product, and sending the message that this is all a perfectly acceptable value proposition. This is positive progress for the industry and for the consumption of art. This video could probably be an hour long, and I would still not run out of ways to quote-unquote nitpick Crunchyroll. I have thought many times of making the Why Crunchyroll Sucks video, but it feels like anyone who has the capacity to get it surely must get it by now, right? You want a slogan for Crunchyroll? Here's a good one, albeit a bit long. Crunchyroll. Still and always the worst way to watch anime. Still and always the worst way to support the industry. And soon, if we have it our way, the only way to do either. Thank you for giving us your money.
Well, and here's the thing too. I mean, it sucks to say this, but from what I've looked into with HIDIVE, and even when I've looked at their UI is so much fucking worse than Crunchyroll's. It is much worse type of setup than Crunchyroll. And yeah, there are features on HIDIVE that are a bit better when I was looking into it, but it's still like before I thought about getting HIDIVE, I looked at what I'd be getting, and it's like, yeah, I'd get a few new series and stuff, but I was looking at the UI, I was looking at some of the issues that it runs into, how it's set up. It's kind of a mess. Now, I want it to be better. I want it to be more streamlined because I do want alternatives to Crunchyroll. But right now, it's the best and easiest way to watch anything. And that's going to be more important to your average consumer than any of these nitpicks are going to be. And I'm sorry that's just me being real with you. I don't know or any other way of saying it. And don't get me wrong. Again, I don't think a lot of their practices are cool and based or whatever, but if you want to enjoy the medium, this is the choice you got. And the fact that it exists is still nice to have. I don't want to be too defensive because I think his points are correct, but at the same time, underplaying the importance of convenience is a super disingenuous in a way, and acting like everybody who's supporting it is kind of an idiot and like just like the fucking dumb soda drinking fucking consumer goblin is kind of dumb too, when you're underplaying what most people do on their daily basis is they don't want to come home and deal with a bunch of shit. So they come home, they just want to turn it on and enjoy their shit. That they just want to watch their fucking shows, and that's most important overall. And I know that I'm kind of reiterating and saying the same point, but if he would have like made the understanding, appealed to the understanding of convenience and not downplayed it, I think that it would have been a lot important, or a lot better. And then kind of talked about how bad Sony is and how they literally forced their way in with the studio that owns FromSoft just so they can take over their... People thought it was about From Software. It was never about From Software. It's because Sony wants to control almost all of the anime industry. They want to have all the anime industry so they can bully anybody else out of the streaming space. And then when they have that, they can sit back and be as lazy as fucking humanly possible, kind of like they're doing with PlayStation right now. That's just what they do, and that's what most companies try to do. It sucks, absolutely, and I'm not defending it. I think it's some fucking cum goblin mentality, but that's the world we live in, and most people want to pay for the most convenient place to watch shit possible. I mean, if I had a choice, right? If you sat me down and said, okay, you're gonna have to deal with some kind of annoying missing features, some annoying shit, but every one of the shows you could possibly want is on this platform, and this company took over everything, but it's going to be convenient for you and you're going to pay for it, and just don't think about all the horrible business practices, I would probably pay for that service. It sucks. Yeah, I mean, it sucks for that industry. It would suck because eventually the quality would get worse. But as a consumer, it would be very convenient to have everything I want in one place. Absolutely. It's just that comes with a lot of fucking baggage, right? That comes with a lot of bad business practices. It comes with the fact that there's going to be a monopoly involved, and it sucks, dude. But I think back to when Netflix was really the only streaming service out there, and how much content Netflix had, how much was going, like everything I wanted to watch was on Netflix. All these other studios were working with Netflix because they were the only game in town, and then everybody else started a streaming service, and now you have like 47 streaming services, and all of them kind of only have a little bit here and a little bit there that you actually want to watch. So you pay for that service so you can watch 4 fucking shows. You watch those shows, you cancel that service, you go to another service, and it's really fucking annoying when it used to be just Netflix. That's kind of what I'm saying with the importance of convenience, and I know that we can get, there's free alternatives, you can torrent shit, you can do Pirate Bay type stuff, but your average consumer, one, they know that that's illegal and they don't want to partake in illegal activities because it's fucking illegal. So then you have the other where people want it is their viewing lifestyle to be as simplistic and easy as possible, and this provides that. And to underplay that, I think, is kind of a misstep, but and I think it also kind of diminishes your overall goal of this video when you could have just been like, Crunchyroll's an evil platform, and here's why, and I would be sitting here at the end, yep, it's an evil platform. But to say it's the worst way to watch anime, when even like some of its competitors like HIDIVE aren't able to come with aren't able to put up the same quality in UI and quality in easy viewing that Crunchyroll is able to do, and also the amount of the catalog compared to Crunchyroll, it's kind of hard for me to say you're 100% right when I have a comparison in the industry. Now, compared to all the free stuff you could possibly want through pirating, I mean, again, that requires a lot of extra effort when we're not just talking about streaming services anymore. We're talking about like the endless bounds of what we could possibly do. It's like, oh, well, my thrift shop has every single fucking anime ever existed. Well, cool, mine doesn't. So, yeah. But that's all I got for that one, guys. I think overall the video is pretty good. I think that if you would have, just made it Crunchyroll, or Sony's way to a monopoly, Crunchyroll, Sony's way to a monopoly, and then just kind of talked about all the evil that Crunchyroll does in one video, even if it got a little distracted, I think it would have been a lot better than calling it the worst way to watch anime, because even when I look compared to Hulu, Crunchyroll is way better place to watch shit than Hulu is. So, but that's all I got for you guys, I guess. Like, subscribe, dislike, don't subscribe, leave an angry comment. I don't give a shit. And I'll catch you on the next one.